Welcome to the Managing People and Departments via the Web training video. One way to administer people and departments on the Mobiso server is manually through the web interface. When the People page first loads, the page will be blank and in a state where you can perform a search. Or you can click New and add a record to the system. If you do not click New before starting to add data into the fields and then try to save the record, you will notice that the Save button is not active. This is by design, as clicking the New button will auto-populate certain fields for creating a new record. So remember to always click the New button before starting to add a record. Any field with an asterisk beside the field name is a required field. The ID field is used to identify a person within the system, and every ID needs to be unique. I'll type in the user's first and last name and also give them an office extension so I can call them. Then I'll click Save to save the record to the system. This person has now been added into the system. However, if I were to call in and say their name, the system would not recognize who I was asking for. This is because after adding someone to the system, it is necessary to rebuild the company directory. There is a reminder in the success bar that the company directory needs to be rebuilt. This reminder is always shown after saving a record. However, a directory rebuild is only necessary when adding or deleting records, or when editing an existing record and modifying the person's name. If you are editing their email address, phone number field, tiebreakers, uploading a greeting for them, or modifying their Find Me setting, a rebuild is not necessary. If you are updating multiple people, it is best to make all of your changes and then rebuild the company directory at the end once all the changes have been made. To rebuild the company directory, go to the Directory Management Company Directories page. Here, you will have the option of having the results of the rebuild emailed to you. Click Rebuild to initiate the rebuild of all company directories. Once the rebuild is complete, the results will be displayed on screen. If there were any errors with the rebuild, such as the number of people in the system is larger than the license will allow, those errors would be displayed in the results output. Let's head back to the People page so I can show you some of the other actions that can be done. Let me pull up a record and make a change to it. If there is invalid data in a field, there will be a little hazard icon within the field to indicate this. If you ignore this warning and attempt to save the record, a red error box will be displayed at the top of the page indicating fields that have issues. Until a person calls into the system to record their name, the system will use a text-to-speech generated name response. If you have an audio file of a person saying their name, you can upload this by clicking on the Browse button, selecting the audio file, and then click Save to upload the file. You can listen to an existing greeting by clicking on the Play button, and, if necessary, you can click on the red X to delete a greeting. If you delete a greeting, it is necessary to save the record to make the change permanent. The List an External Directory setting can be useful if there are certain people that you do not want to have in your public external directory. This checkbox works in conjunction with settings on the Company Directories page. If I go back to the Company Directories page, there is a Include All People setting for the directory. If the directory has this box checked, then all people on the system will be included in that directory. If this is unchecked, then only people who have the List an External Directory setting checked will be in that directory. Note that the List an External Directory setting on the People page does not key off the name of your company directory. Simply creating a directory called External will not utilize the List an External Directory setting. The directories can also be configured to either include or not include departments. Managing departments through the web is very similar to managing people within the web interface. I already have a couple of departments on the system, so let me pull one of them up. One thing to be aware of is that the department title field should only contain the name of the department. In this example, I have Human Resources. You would not want to have Human Resources Department as the title because if someone asks for Human Resources, it may not be recognized. However, by having Human Resources as the title, if someone asks for Human Resources Department, this will be recognized. Departments also have additional names or aliases. Human Resources can also be known as HR. In this case, I have added the name as H space R. If I did not have the space in this name, HR without the space would be recognized as our, since HR is an abbreviation for our. You can have multiple additional names for a department. However, when a system recognizes on one of the alternate names, the department title will be played back to the caller. Unlike the people record, there is no way to call into the system and record the greeting. The only way to change the greeting for a department is to upload a file to the system. Departments also have two phone fields. One is phone transfer, the other is phone play. The phone transfer field is the number that is used when transferring a call to the department. The phone play field is what is used if you have enabled the Announce Phone Before Transfer setting in the application and gives you the ability to announce a different phone number to the caller. One example is that the system will actually transfer to the extension of the department, but you want to announce the direct external line to the department to the caller. That is a quick overview of managing people and departments via the web interface. For additional information, please refer to the Administrator's Guide or any of the other training videos available online.